And to me, it makes me feel like loved, because I always tell people, it's like when you grow up in the streets and people respect you for who you are and what you're doing now, that is nothing but love, right? Hi, everyone. This is Raina Carrillo with Purpose and Passion. We're in the city of Inglewood. And today's topic is going to be super dope for myself because I've always loved lowriders. I remember my father seeing pictures of him in his lowrider Impala and my Uncle Jesse in the lowrider Impala in the city of Lenox. Let me tell you, that's definitely history. So today I have Sandy Avila. She's the president of the First Lady Lowrider Club. So thank you for coming here and gracing your beautiful self on Purpose and Passion.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're
I'm
welcome.
honored to be here. Very honored.
I'm really happy that you're here because I've been I've been a follower, you know what I mean, on Instagram, and I just love seeing, women with man, just women out there in the lowrider scene.
Yeah.
But riding the lowriders.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of talking about that, about like, lowriders tend to be like a male dominant industry because it was always been the men riding the lowriders.
Yeah.
But now we have women that are chingonas, that are powerful, that can vibe just equal as a man in the lowrider scene. So that's why I have you here today, because I seen your Instagram, I see the women, I see the cars, and it just brought me back to the days in the early 2000s when I used to host Lolos, and you're bringing me back to that feeling of, I think I need to kind of like start filming and start interviewing people in the lowrider scene. So thank you so much for just, gracing your presence and about to educate, empower, and teach awareness to our viewers about the lowriders. So before we get into that, I would like for you to bring the viewers down back memory lane. Like, where are your parents from? Because culture is so important to me, at least. And then also, like, where were you born and raised, and how was your childhood?
Okay, well, my parents are, my mom's from San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So she was born out there. And my dad is actually from Mexico, from Zacatecas, Mexico. But my dad obviously came, to the States when he was like 8, I think, and settled in Pasadena. My mom, same thing. She came out here in, I guess the 80s, high school years, back and forth from California to Texas, and that's where her and my dad met. So I was born and raised in Pasadena, California.
Okay.
So I'm originally from Pasadena, California. Been there all my life. I actually did do a little venture out to the IE for a few years, but I came back. Once a city girl, always a city girl. But that's where my parents are from.
Yes.
Going back, when I was a baby, actually, my dad had lowriders and he built lowriders. Nice. So that's where I was first introduced to lowriding.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, obviously growing up, he did sell his cars because, he had kids, had a family he had to raise. He always tells me, I had to sell my Impala to throw you a birthday party.
Was it the quinceañera?
I know, right? No, I was a baby. I was little.
Oh my God.
But, I guess that back then, just like now, it's a lot of money to have those cars and maintain them.
Yes.
And then my mom, too, she would tell me about how she'd always be getting pulled over in the cars. And she's like, oh, I couldn't go anywhere. So that was, that's what kind of where it started for me. But then, as I grew up, obviously, like I said, my dad got rid of his cars. He didn't have them for a while. And, some of his friends would come around with their lowriders and stuff. So, it was still around me. But fast forward to now, about 5 years ago, my husband purchased a lowrider. And he's the one that got me out there in the scene.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, it's funny because he had been talking about getting cars for a few years, and I was always like, no, I was hesitant.
Yes.
Because obviously I grew up seeing that, and even in like the cholo scene, right? So we know what that's about.
Yes, of
so
course.
It was gangsta.
Yeah.
And I was yeah. So I was like, I was really like hesitant when he really wanted to talk about buying cars and stuff, because I was like, dude, that brings attention, drama, that brings all that stuff that I feel we had gotten away from, you know. As you know, when you're younger, you go through all that stuff, you grow, you have kids, you move on and stuff. So I kind of was hesitant to want to get into the scene like that. And I finally agreed, and I was like, all right, fine. I go, all right, we'll see what's up, you know. So he ended up buying a car, and I went out with him. I think the first day I went out with him in the car, and I was just like, I was really like, I don't even know how to explain it. I was just like, I was just so excited, and I loved it. And then I saw a female out there, which is one of my close friends and mentors. Her name is Tina. And yeah, it was the first day I went out with him. We were out on Broadway. We were out here on Broadway cruising. And she pulled up. She has a 66 Capri, and she was hitting switches and all kinds of shit. And I was like, damn. And then like the guys that were there, they're like, yeah, you know, she works on her car too. Like, dude, she fixes it. She breaks it. She fixes it. She's there telling me all this stuff about her. I was like, what the? I was like, she's badass. And then I told my husband, I said, yeah, I'm gonna need a car, homie. I was like, I'm not rolling out here with you on your passenger seat. Like, I was just like, like, so then it was just after that, it was like I literally looked for a car, I found my car, bought my car, and the rest is just history. Like, it's literally what it's evolved into now.
So when you were in high school, did you think you were gonna have a lowrider?
You know what? Trip out. Here's another thing that I always think about. When I was in high school, I remember, when I turned 16, my dad said he was going to buy me a car, my first car.
Yes.
And this was what, in 99, 90, like 97, 99, like in the 90s, late 90s. Yes. And I remember there was a Buick Regal. It was like an 80-something Buick Regal for sale down the street from my house. It was beautiful. It was stock. I think it was stock. But it was so beautiful. And I wanted that car so bad as my first car. Yeah. And my dad was like, hell to the no. Because it was like a lowrider. We were in the late 90s.
Yeah, so, those were popular. Regals.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Monte Carlos.
Yeah. And I remember I wanted that car so bad. I was just like, that car's so dope. And my dad was like, hell no, I ain't buying you that. Because at that time, too, I hung out with all the cholos. So he was like, I can't even get you home. Like, now you want me to buy you car, get you that car. He's like, no, miss. He was like, So he didn't buy me that car. But I remember I wanted that car so bad. I would take pictures of it, and I wrote the number down, and I would just walk by all the time and see that car, and I wanted it so bad. And I was 16 at the time. He ended up buying me a Honda Accord, but that was cool too. But I kind of always had this like thing for cars. Like, I don't know, I just always did. But I was a little embarrassed because I'm a real girly girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't tomboyish. So I love makeup. I love always have my nails. I love all that girly shit. So I kind of was embarrassed of the fact that I was so intrigued by cars and stuff. And but once I kind of got into the scene, it was just like, I was like, this, like, it was just like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I said, it was just like, damn, this is where I need to be. Yes. Like, I can fix my car. I could be a female. I could do hydraulics. Oh my God. It was
you can do it all.
Yeah.
Everything you probably desired when you were 16. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're living it now.
I was like so excited. And then to, know that it was okay for females. Cause I remember too, for a minute, I was like, that's dope when I saw, Tina out there. But then I was like, kind of a little scared still. Like, yes. But will they accept me out here? I'm not, Like, she's OG. You know, she's been lowriding in the scene since back in the day. And I remember thinking too, like, damn, but is it gonna be cool, you know, or dude's gonna trip? Like, you know, I didn't know. I didn't know. Are they gonna accept me? Are they gonna, you know? And it was kind of like, well, we'll have to find out, you know, and see how it goes. But it's crazy. Like, I just you know, how much or how far I've come just with my car, you know, and just just being, you know, in the scene and just with the women and stuff. And I honestly don't. I would have never. When I just bought my car, I would have never thought that, you know, I would be president to a female car club. I was like, oh no, you know.
How did that come about though? Like, that's very interesting. Like, how did that come about? That's why I have you here today. I'm like, I want you to tell me your story.
You know, that kind of goes back to having a car too. I remember I did do a male female club with my husband in the beginning when I first got my car, and it didn't work out, which was fine. You know, it was obviously, you know, wouldn't have led me to where I'm at now. Yes. What initially started Lady Lowrider initially started as like a merch idea for me. Like, I was like, dude, there's nothing out here for females. Like, everything's male. Yes. Male shirts. Everything was male. You know, even the lowrider dude is a guy with the brocha. Yeah. You know, everything was for males. Nothing was for females. There was no products for us out there. If you didn't have a lowrider and weren't from a club yourself, you had to rep your man's club. That's just how it was. Yes. You rep your man's club. Yes. You know? Majestic and all the other car clubs. Yeah. And of course, they, you know, some of them do have females, which is cool and what have you. But it's still not a representation of women per se, like, as individuals. At least that's how I saw it. And I was like, I wish I could do something to where we could have something to represent the women. Yes. And that's when I did the Lady Lowrider, the logo, like the plaque logo, you know, the whole logo. So what I did was I started doing like T-shirts and keychains, hoodies, stickers, like all that stuff is where it started for me. And people loved it. The females loved it. You know, it's where it started for me. Then I have my best friend now, who I met in the scene as well, about 3.5 years ago. When I did the merch, I made a car plaque with the same logo, and I threw it on my car. I would just throw it on my car, like, because this is, you know, this, that's not that it's the brand. It's the brand. It's the brand, you know, it's the stuff. So, you know, people want to get some merch, they know to hit me up. I got, you know, whatever. This is the lady in the car. Wait for her. Yeah. You know, you want a hoodie or whatever, hit me up. You know, that's where it started. So when I made the plaque, my homegirl was like, oh, so where's my plaque? And I was like, what do you mean, where's your plaque? She's like, yeah, like, girl, you're not going to do a club? I was like, what? I don't know, man. I go, running a club is a lot of work. Because like I told you, I had been in a club already, and I did a lot of work with that club too. And then she was like, girl, you got to do a club. Come on, like, you know, all this shit you're doing. The logo and yeah, she's like, you got the logo, you know. She goes, even if it's just me and you, fuck it, let's just do it. You started like that? Yeah. She's like, even if it, you know, just ends up only being me and you in the end, like, let's do that. And I was like, really? I go, you want to? I go, look, I'll do it, but we got to do this shit together. Yes. Like, I want you to help me, you know. And she was like, I'm down. I was like, all right. So that's how it started, is, you know, that's how we transformed it into a club. So the merchandise business turned into the car club. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That is dope though. Like, with vision, you know what I mean? Like, you went even bigger. Yeah. And I remember I thought about it before, but I was like, nah, that's too much. I was like, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to go there. Obviously, I had a lot of obstacles in the way, just being a female in the scene, you know? So I was like a little hesitant. We'll see what happens. Things didn't end well with the old car club. I had drama here, drama there. You know, it was a lot of shit going on. So I was masked. Like, what are like some of the dramas? Just a lot of judgment. People, you know, oh, she's only out here for fame, and she's only doing this because of that. And it was just so much. That sounds like some hater stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of bullshit. And I like I said in the beginning, I that's kind of why I was hesitant to even get into cars, because I was like, I don't want no drama. Like, I didn't want to deal with any drama.
Yes.
But obviously with, whatever you do in life, sometimes, sometimes it's a given. Like I say, what doesn't break you makes you stronger.
Yes.
So we've, I just move forward always.
Wow.
And that's how we've gotten to where we're at. It's just, pushing through all the drama and the bullshit. So yeah, I feel like because obviously when I brought my car out, like, cruising's fun,
Yes.
the whole, low and slow is fun. But if you've never like hit switches and stuff, it's like, it's really addicting.
I can imagine.
Learning how to three-wheel your car and hit switches and all that stuff. It's so much fun. It's literally like going on a roller coaster. Yes. That's how it feels. Like when I know that I'm gonna like start messing with my switches or I'm gonna start hopping my car, it's very like,
it's like an adrenaline, right?
Yes, that's how it feels.
Going to do it.
That's how it feels. So I really, really enjoyed and I love doing it. And obviously that I feel like being a female did bring a lot of attention.
Yes.
But it was because I loved doing it and I got really good at it, but people kind of were like, oh, she's only doing it because she wants to be famous or this and that. And I was just like, okay. Well,
like I've been in the scene way before, like, trying to be famous. Like I'm with my husband and we're doing our thing.
Yeah, it was like, it was, I don't know. It's like now I just laugh and I'm like, well, I mean, I could not do it. But then it's like
then you're allowing them to put their negative energy on you to stop what you love.
Yeah, exactly.
Because obviously you have to love it to hit that high drive. I love being just in it. Like I'll be the chicle on the side by you.
Yeah. That's what I mean. And it costs so much money. So when you're hopping your car and you're doing all that stuff that you're doing in your car, it's always at an expense. So you can't do it and just be like, oh, I want to whatever. No, it doesn't work that way. It's, it's going to cost you money. You got to fix it. It's going to cost you time. It's going to break your car. You're going to chip your paint. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I was just talking about this like the other day. I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking about how you really have to really love it to do this and spend the money, break your car, take it out there, trailer to shows, come home at 2 a.m, freezing, because you're at a show all day, tired as fuck, burnt. Like, come on, like you can't all that for fame.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like I'll just take J-Lo's job.
Right? It's like
I'll be an actress and sing,
Right? It's like it's like that's like they say, it's really a lifestyle, for a lot of us. I know some people it's a hobby. I've seen people that it's a hobby. They just do it, on the side. But for those of us that really put our whole heart into it, it really is a complete lifestyle. And
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
Your whole heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
Well, let's say for the viewers that say, you know what, I want to be a part of the Lady Lowrider Club. Like, what are the qualifications as a woman, that purchase a lowrider? Like, how do they become a part of your club? What is the protocol?
Well, we basically have
you get jumped in? No, just right?
Right? I know. Huh? I think they've been asked that too. But it's like, no, we don't do that.
That's why I had to say
I know. That's funny though, right? I hope not. No.
It makes me think about you think about the gang era of being jumped in, and then the party crew era, you had to get jumped in, right? Yeah. And then you're like, the Lowrider, do you get jumped in? No, you just pay a fee and whatever.
Right.
So what are your qualifications?
Well, we do have a minimum of 6 months prospecting period where if somebody wants to come in and join, they're always, we always welcome new members. It's basically, you have to, there are vehicle qualifications, a lot of ladies are barely building their cars and doing upgrades and doing all that stuff, which is cool and all that. And, they're welcome with their cars as they're building them during the prospecting period. I really want them to come and get to know everyone and kind of just vibe with everybody. I feel like that's a big part of having a great group of women is really who you have around you.
Get along, getting along.
And really knitting out the bad seeds. You know, the people that don't fit in, the people that are not
full of drama.
Exactly. That bring the drama, that bring the negativity, that bring the cheese mess, all of that. Like, we really don't, we shut that down. That is not welcome in our club. Like, if you're with that, it's like this is not the place for you. And we've actually, you know, have had to let people go for those reasons. And those have been good moves. Those have been good moves because I feel like the group of women that we have right now are so empowering. They're very positive. They're very caring. They're very loving. And dude, there's so much negativity out there. Like, if we can build a safe space for us and have women that are encouraging one another,
like a sisterhood, really,
exactly, then that's what we're going to build, and that's what we're really trying to build and push. And so I feel like that is kind of one of the biggest, most important asset to us when it comes to picking females in the club. Is really just the person and who they are.
So 6 months of a prospect. Okay. And once that 6 months pass and they're the person that you guys say, okay, she is a vibe. She belongs in this sisterhood. This is she belongs in our tribe kind of thing. So what's the next step?
Then we kind of go as far as, okay, welcoming them. If they want to join as a member, then it kind of moves to the car process. Obviously, wherever they're at with their car, it's definitely a process for everyone. So once they meet the requirements of the vehicles, you have to have clean paint, you have to have hydraulics, you have to have a presentable interior. I mean, and so there's definitely different qualifications. So they all have to meet those in order for them to get plaqued.
Okay.
So
all right. So you're making sure like people are like looking good. That's kind of like if I'm inviting you to a party, you come in your chanclas and like some sweats. It's like, no, so girl. You need to come fly with some heels.
Exactly. And that's representation. That's kind of the way, because we're women. So we kind of want to keep that
high standards.
We want to keep that the originality of lowriding entre our club as well. Even though we're new club and we're women, we're like, hey, we want to set standards for ourselves too. We want to make sure we look good out there. We're repping and making one another look good out in the scene, and we got to do that for each other.
That's really nice. So let's talk about going back into lowrider being a male dominant industry, right? And looking back at the girls playing the roles as the model, right? Whether it's the lowrider cars or the girls in their little bikinis posing on the cars at the convention show, right? The lowrider shows. And now women not have to dress like that and be in a lowrider hitting the switches just the same as the dudes. Like, that's a whole new industry. You know what I mean? But it's a good thing.
Believing Before Seeing, a new book by Candace Barr, teaching you how to believe into existence. Available now for pre-order.
One thing that I want to put out there, and I feel like it's really important, is that there have always been women in the scene.
Yes.
Right? Since the 70s, even
the girlfriends, the wives,
the 60s, 70s. But I know that I've heard, I haven't met them yet, and hopefully one day I would like to meet a couple of these females, that there was female car clubs and there was women out there that were lowriding and had cars. And I always want to give, pay homage to them and recognize them, that, there have been women out there previously and before us, and they've been out there doing this. We didn't start women in lowriding. We didn't start the first female car club, but we're here kind of just getting a little bit more recognition. Is what it is. It's not that we started anything, because I know people like to say that I say started women in lowriding, or I started
But you started your own club.
Exactly.
Yes.
I didn't start anything that has to do with women's history of lowriding, none of that.
Yes.
I want to make that clear.
Yes.
People try to say that. I say that, and
well, I'm happy you making it clear today, because now people will understand. Like
I've never said
like
that.
you started your own, your own car club.
Our car club, and that's it. And whatever people feel or label me or they say I did, it's coming from them, not me. I've never said I started nothing other than the Lady Lowrider Car Club with my vice president. But like I said, I always do want to recognize and acknowledge the women that were here before us and that were lowriding, because it's only right. It's what's right, and I want to show them respect as well. That's one thing that I feel is important.
Do you feel like you want to have like an intimate, well, not an intimate, but it would need to be not intimate, but more of a gala where you have an event set for, like, in my brain, I'm just freelancing because I do community events, right? I'm a community leader, gang interventionist, like anything with community. Because I'm already thinking, like, I already have 2 things for you and your car club. So, like, for example, it's like when I think about paying, homage to people before you, is you have an event, connect with Daza, have her be the host of the event, I love to help and coordinate, you know what I mean? Because like when you have something that you want to do, you need people to be there. The guest list, me sit at the table while you're doing the bigger parts, you know what I mean? You need a team to make it possible. And I think it's so important to have this, to pay homage, give the awards to these women when you get the opportunity to connect with them, to say, you know what, we're gonna do, a lowrider event, or an award ceremony or something.
And I think that we would definitely love to plan something like that and have something like that. I think that would be amazing.
It'd be amazing, man.
The women, all throughout lowriding, throughout the years, and I think that would really, really be amazing. And I feel like I've started to, I really would just have, at this point, I'm really trying to just get to know everyone still.
Yes,
trying
get to know their story,
get to know, everything. Find out, just get facts about people, their history, and really just, kind of maybe build from that and see what we can do. See who else is down. We did a collab Mother's Day car show with an all-female car club out of Northern California.
Beautiful.
And one out of Inland Empire. So that was really cool. Like, to have three female car clubs together and have a cool Mother's Day little show for the women. It was really dope. It was really nice.
I'll pitch you what I have a desire to connect with you, right? Okay. So right here in Inglewood, I'm born and raised here. And so right now we're in right smack into the Lock Haven community. So this is predominantly Latino, right?
Okay.
And in this side of Inglewood, like, you have gangs, right? But the neighborhood in this community would like to see the kids have fun. They would like to see the families have fun and do things, right? They're in support of that kind of stuff. So I'm working with, the Inglewood School District. And because I am a gang interventionist and well respected, right? Anything that I do, whether it's food giveaways, you know what I mean? School backpack giveaways, Christmas toy drives, like, people respect that. They're like, oh, Raina's doing the event. Like, we'll stay out the way and let her do her thing. And to me, it makes me feel like loved, because I always tell people, it's like, when you grow up in the streets and people respect you for who you are and what you're doing now, that is nothing but love, right? And that's why last year I ran for mayor of Inglewood. I was the first Latina to run for mayor of Inglewood.
That's dope.
First ex-gangster to you know what I mean? Yeah. And it made me feel like I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of my roots. I'm not ashamed of my Lock Haven community. Yeah. It's like, when people say, Inglewood, I'm like, I am Inglewood. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm born and raised here, and this is the roots of Lock Haven, and I'm very proud of where I come from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never shy away from it either. And so, but as a community leader, I had this vision because I have bad news. So the school I used to go to where I give back is called Worthington Elementary. That's where I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're going to be tearing the school down in January of 2024.
Okay.
So what I have this idea is that in the school, there's a big, nice parking lot.
Uh-huh.
And right next door is a park.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that maybe we can kind of have like a nice little Halloween kind of, it's called Trunk or Treat.
Okay.
Where you guys can come out, the Lowriders come out, you just pop the trunk, and then you just give candy to the kids.
Yeah.
And it can just be for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
But the community get a chance to see the Lowriders in their community.
Yeah.
Because most people don't get to see, touch, or talk to somebody because the Lowrider events are always outside of our communities.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Latino community, you know, the women don't have the cars to drive their kids places, right?
Yeah.
Because the husband is working.
Yes.
So the mom is on foot. So I would love to bring like a positive, you know, trunk or treat in our community where the people can experience this, because not just that, but eventually that school won't exist.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that we have these memories before January.
Oh,
so it really means a lot to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've been fighting to keep the school open.
Uh-huh.
Our next step is going to the state capitol in Sacramento to try to see how these politicians can help us not close the school down.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, I'm a warrior and I fight to the end, you know?
Yeah.
And so with that to say, I was thinking like that would be super dope to have a trunk or treat.
Yeah.
And it would be totally lovable and respected because it's a women car club.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different energy and vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I would love to do with you guys, because December will be coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, this would be perfect. And I can talk to the school district and say this through my nonprofit, you know, I want to, you know, open the park up and the school district together. So then our Worthington Elementary students in the community, in our Lock Haven community, can also be able to see beautiful Lowriders.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
The kids get to see,
Yeah.
you know, and then do the trick-or-treating, but through the trunks, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that was my heart desire. And where did I get that from? I got that from my job development option in the Crenshaw district.
Okay.
So they had Lowriders at Crenshaw High and those hot rod cars.
Okay, yeah.
And I saw how it worked out the second time around, and it was more people.
Mm-hmm.
So every year they do it, it gets bigger and bigger because not everybody wants to knock on doors anymore.
Yeah.
So if you can go to a safe haven place and get candy, and the adults can kind of like link up and talk, and the kids are enjoying themselves in a safe environment without crossing streets.
Yeah.
It's just like a win-win situation. So that's my thing with you. I'm like, I have to have you help me make this possible. You know? So I definitely would love for you guys to help my nonprofit, the Phoenix Rising Coalition, so we can do a trunk or treat for the kids in the community where it's safe, but they get to experience the Lowriders in their community.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
Yeah.
That sounds dope.
So
definitely have to get together and talk about that.
I'm excited about it. So that's what I wanted to plant that there. Gotta lure you in. Please just say yes, because I want this to happen to say, at least I was the first person in Inglewood to do this. Or at least in Inglewood and Lock Haven community, because I don't know if anybody done it yet in Inglewood. Yeah. But I know for me, it would be the first because I've never heard of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then I have 5 kids. So my first twins are 12. Gigi is 10, and I have 4-year-old twin boys.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So you have 2 set of twins?
Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So my babies will be a part of it too.
Wow.
Yeah. I know it's a lot of kids.
Yeah. No, I'm just
like
twins.
3 pregnancies, 5 kids. That's crazy, right?
2 set of twins.
Right. That's crazy. Oh my God.
That's tough. No, that's
a lot of work.
I tip my hat to you.
Thank you.
That has to be a lot of work.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4.
Okay, that's
4.
impressive.
I have 4. My youngest is he'll be 14 in September. He's my boy. And then I have a 16-year-old, 19-year-old, and a 21-year-old. And the big ones are all girls.
Wow.
So
how they feel about mom and dad in the lowrider scene?
You know, they enjoy it. They really enjoy it. I feel like it's funny though because the 2 that are still in high school and middle school, they're always like, Mom, Somebody asked me if you were my mom. Somebody told me they know my mom. My mom. My mom's the one with the cutlass. My mom is. They like get annoyed. I think they get embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's with my daughter. She does too, because she's like, oh my gosh, mom. You know, so-and-so came up to me and he told me I know your mom and this and that. And
Because you're popular.
I guess,
Yes.
yeah, for them. And they're just like so bothered, like, oh my
They're
gosh.
like, oh my gosh, Mom.
Yeah, it's funny. My son, he's a little more like, yeah, that's my mom. Yeah, you know,
Yes.
he kind of
Like he's supporting that. Like, yeah, that's my mom. My mom
Yeah.
has a lowrider. She has an Instagram page.
Yeah, yeah. he really enjoys it. My oldest daughter, she does come out with us once in a while to
That's
this, you know,
good.
lowriding when she's not working or now hanging out with her friends. My second oldest, she's not really into it. She's really a homebody and she's real
Mhm.
shy and quiet, and she's like, I remember a couple times that I picked her up in the lowrider. She was like, oh my god, she was like
Embarrassed.
she wanted like the floor to eat her up. She was so embarrassed. She was like, oh my god, Mom, I can't believe you came and picked me up in
in
this
the
car.
lowrider. Oh
She
my
was
God.
like livid. I was like, what? I was like, this is so cool. You don't even realize it. She's like, no, Mom, no, oh my God, please. I think I'm gonna walk. I was like, wow. I know.
Like, for
Yeah.
real? Like, dang.
I was like,
yeah. She
But
was embarrassed.
yeah, she's like, Mom, it's just too much attention. I can't handle it. She's like, it's too much.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was like, oh my gosh.
I like
maybe
these
it'll
stories.
take you out of your shell. Like, or
Yes.
maybe, you know, that's what you need. And she's like, oh my gosh. But
I love the motherhood part of it. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
yeah, it really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a funny experience.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what do you plan to do? Like, what's new? Like, what do you have coming up for your car club? Like, what plans do you have coming up?
Well, one thing that we're doing, I believe the last weekend of June, we actually got a special invite to Sacramento, to the state, to the capital.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know, but this year is going to be the first official lowrider holiday in the state of California.
Oh, I did not know that.
They're making it. This is going to be the first one. It's going to be the first Sunday of summer every year. It's going to be an actual lowrider holiday.
Wow.
So this year is going to be the first one, and they invited us, which is the state holiday organization, to come up there and be a special guest. They're doing like a big old show right in front of the Capitol.
Yes.
They're doing a car show. They're shutting the street down, and they invited us, so we're going to be heading
history.
up there.
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
exactly. And they asked us to be judges and pass out the awards for the event, which is really
Yes.
cool. I was like, what?
That is awesome.
So
My
that's
God.
yeah. So we're doing that at the end of this month, and then what else? Next month is going to be our 2-year club anniversary on July 16th, and we're going to be having a picnic / chill and grill in Pasadena at Brookside Park, which is across the street from the Rose Bowl. To celebrate our anniversary, we're gonna have food,
I'll be
raffle,
there.
all kinds of cool stuff.
I'll be there with my chairs.
So that's gonna be our anniversary next month.
Wow.
And then what else? I'm just trying to. There's always so many events going on.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to keep track. So I'm always messaging my girls like, "What are we doing this day? What are we doing?"
You gotta put
'Cause
it in your
so,
calendar.
yeah, there's so much stuff.
I know.
And I think the next big show after that is there's a big car show that we go to continuously every year. It's the Takeover Super Show in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center,
Okay.
thrown by Love for the Streets. And we will be there in August. I can't remember the date, but they're good friends of mine as well.
Yes.
They host a really good, big super show here in Southern California. And that's in August. And then I think the next show we'll be doing is the Lowrider Super Show in Vegas in September.
Las Vegas. Wow. And
Yeah.
in October, the trunk or treat.
Yeah. Yes.
Trunk or treat.
Yes.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to share with our viewers before we close out on Purpose and Passion? Something inspiring, you know what I mean?
I think just, that positivity always, man, just, when that's one of the big things for us is just, women supporting women really being there for one another. And that's really what we're about. We're, you know, we don't just talk about it. We honestly be about it. And a lot of people talk about it, but you gotta be about it. You can't just post about it. And you can't just post about it. You know, oh yeah. Nah, man, you really gotta be about it. You gotta show up, you know, really show people support and love. And that's one of the things that I really try to do with our organization, with the club, with the girls, you know, even if only one or two of us can make it, you know, we try. And that's one thing too, you know, a lot of the girls we're spread out through California. You know, I'm San Gabriel Valley. I have 2 girls in East LA. 2 girls out in the IE, 2 girls in Oxnard, 1 girl up in Fresno.
Wow.
Trying to think. We have 2 girls in Washington, 2 girls in Idaho, and a member in Japan.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, they're everywhere. So, you know, sometimes we can't all show up together, but we try.
Yes.
But we try. But we're out there representing, doing our thing.
Wow. Well, how can they find you on social media?
You can look up our Lady Lowrider Car Club Instagram. It's Lady Lowrider Car Club _, I believe. Or you can look up my personal page as well, is sbeauty_1. And that's how you can find us.
All right. Well, thank you for gracing your appearance on Purpose and Passion on Luxe Media, studios.
Thank
in the
you.
City of Inglewood. Look at this mural; it's super dope. Every time I film here, it just makes me happy.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. Honored. Thank you. Well, this is Raina Carrillo signing out. Purpose and Passion. Peace out. Bye.